Can you show me how it works? Like, could you take a screen grab of me?
This is me, James, and this is Hone, the chief executive of Clearview AI, arguably the best known and most controversial facial recognition company in the world.
So what I'm going to do is share my screen and give you a quick demo. So that's the screen grab we took from Zoom.
Clearview is essentially a search engine for faces. It's mostly used in law enforcement, but this tech has many applications. It's even being used in Ukraine, helping to identify the dead.
Works like Google, but instead of putting in a string of words or text, the end user puts in a photo of a face, and it finds publicly available information online that could be helpful in solving crimes. And it searches over 20 billion images from the public internet now. So this one here is Twitter. So we kind of compare those side by side, but as you can see, it works, after you've shaved your head. Here's another amazing one. You're out there in the background of another photo. Right, and it showcases the power of the technology.
Oh my goodness! See that one? That one's amazing. That is extraordinary that it's picked me out of a crowd like that. I mean, that is incredibly powerful. I didn't quite realize how powerful this was. Wow.
Which is pretty phenomenal when you think about this is searching over 20 billion images.
If you're watching this, your face is probably in this system as well. That's where things get controversial. Remember those 20 billion images Hone keeps mentioning? Most have been ripped from social media sites without the consent of users. And the information, well, it can be fed back to law enforcement agencies like the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, and local police forces.
Critics say a controversial startup poses a new and profound threat to everyone's privacy.
This is really creepy. And the big companies who have the data already haven't wanted to do it.
This is a fundamental issue of privacy, of personal data, and of freedom. Clearview forces us to ask a question about how we want our data to be used and whether or not it should be possible for companies to scrape all this information we're putting online to create a product.
But Juan says his company has a First Amendment right to access this public data.
If someone has set their photos to private, or have private settings, then it doesn't show up in Clearview's search engine. Just like if you typed in someone's name and the words LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram into Google, you are likely to find their profile if they have it on public. And so that's one thing about our technology that is a misconception.
If someone doesn't want to be in your database, can they just say to you, I don't want to be in your database, please remove me?
There are some privacy laws in the US that allow people to opt out, and we do, process them, with a legitimate legal basis if people require an opt-out. I would say, though, that this is something that's used for after the crime investigations. So if this was a consumer application or other things like that, this large scale amount of data would be, appropriate. But I think, this is only ever searched in an after the crime manner.